Some comic curator shower thoughts. Here's why Perfect Cell isn't universe tier. You see, I made the mistake of replying to some comment bait after a drip sauce acolyte and Grand Priest wannabe made a video about Von Key's debunk about Perfect Cell. Zeta replied to Key, and then another guy made a reply to Key's debunk, and then I posted a few comments, and they replied to me, and now I have to reply again with my own video because just being a mere emanation of the sauce isn't good enough. Bro actually has to try to rise to the level of Grand Elder of the Sauce Village cult by doing an actual voice impression of his fearless leader in all of his videos, which is some next level cultism. Here's why Perfect Cell isn't universe tier. Whis said MUI Goku, maxed out, is less than Galaxy tier in the Moro arc, and galaxies in Dragon Ball are less than 10 light years wide. A normal galaxy is 100,000 light years wide. We know the size of the galaxies in Dragon Ball because of Popo's ship test flight with Bulma and how long it took that same ship to get to Namek in 8 days.
Alright, maggots, listen up. Popo's about to teach you the pecking order.
It was traveling at 519 times light speed for 8 days. All 4 galaxies are in total about 40 light years wide. 2. Broly is a tier above Perfect Cell in power. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan plus Super Saiyan 1 Goten plus Super Saiyan 1 Goku post 7 years of Otherworld training all combined their power, and that blast didn't even dent the sun. You can't call Perfect Cell a solar system or galaxy buster if Super Saiyan 2 Gohan plus Goku plus Goten's blast didn't even phase the sun, but it vaporized Broly. The sad part about all of this is that some of these debaters never watched the movies and think that Broly in movie 10 is non-canon, therefore just chuck it out. Doesn't matter. Non-canon to main timeline Broly is still stronger than main canon Perfect Cell. If you really think that Perfect Cell saying he can destroy everything is a true statement, then God bless your poor little soul, because it's a common trope for villains to lie and exaggerate in anime, and you shouting on a box that we should all listen to Perfect Cell boast about his power when he can't even sense power levels is absurd and goofy. You're goofy. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is leagues ahead of Perfect Cell in power, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku cannot easily lift a 13-story building and almost burst his eyeballs out of his sockets trying to lift up a small portion of a city block. If Super Saiyan 4 is not able to easily lift and toss a few thousand to a few 100,000 tons, then he isn't anywhere near the level of capability to warp the gravity and momentum a star naturally has hurling through space. The sun moves about 450,000 miles an hour through space, and it's about 300,000 times the mass of the Earth. Super Saiyan 4 Goku cannot lift a small city corner. Zeta lied about this feat of planet Namek exploding being a shot of the galaxy in the background, but this is what people who have very poor educations think only galaxies look like. This is a solar system in illustration. This is what clouded debris fields near the core star look like in regular solar systems. It looks a little like a galaxy, but it's not. It's a solar system, and you know that because the size of planet Namek is clearly shown, just as Von Key showed us the debris field. This requires a 3-second Google for illustrations of a solar system on Google, yet these scalers refuse to do so. You're being manipulated by them. Simple as that. Their aim is to trick you into giving them the debate credit that they want and not looking into anything that they say. When Perfect Cell blows up King Kai's planet, his ki is swelling to the point that he can't control it, and it's also far stronger than his own durability. This is his max ki potential. In a suicidal moment where all of his ki is expended to the point that it even kills himself. I was told by this same cultist that this is not Cell's best attack and not reflective of the strongest ki blast he can muster up. He wanted to debate me, so he came to my Discord, and on the first question, he instantly folded and started lying and wanted me to VC him. Somehow, voice chat makes you a better debater. That's not how reality works if you can't even answer the first question without lying. So of course that's pure nonsense. The uncontrollable self-detonation of their own ki is the strongest attack they have, and all Dragon Ball fans understand that. When Vegeta did it, when Cell did it, and when Moro did it. The guide says the mortal realm is the exact same size as the otherworld area of the universe. So when Perfect Cell blows up King Kai's planet, it only took out a small portion of Snake Way that was then repaired later by King Yema. Snake Way is only 1 million kilometers long, and it's so close to King Kai's planet that Goku can just jump straight to it from the end of Snake Way. So, a tiny portion of 1 million kilometers was wiped by Cell's attack. Let's just ask ChatGPT to do some basic math for us, just so we can all laugh and giggle. So, Zeta and Drip and the rest of their cult are about 0.00000001057% off, and exaggerated this to the most laughable and sad levels imaginable. So Cell's best attack only took out a portion of 1 million kilometer radius. Wow, how did they go from less than 1 million kilometers to infinite universal? How do you do that? You do that by being a cult leader and a cult acolyte who wants to be a grand priest in that cult, to the point where he wants to emanate his own cult leader by doing voice impressions of him for all of his videos. So Perfect Cell is nowhere near this level. These are anime villain tropes being argued by some kids who never watched anime to know it exaggerates heavily in the animations and dialogue. There are some individuals out there who see Misty from Pokemon get mad at Ash and Brock and turn into a 15-foot tall rock monster with red eyes and fire breath, and actually think she can turn into a 15-foot monster and she has superpowers, when it's just how the illustrations worked to show Misty was angry. Legit, this is the state of the current scaling world, and it's why I retired. It's just that bad. Zeta and his little group of weirdos are ruining the mythology of Dragon Ball for thousands of people because they want to be as much like Drip Sauce as possible, to the point that he actually talks like Drip Sauce and does an impersonation of him in his videos. This is some horrifying psychology going on here. Instead of just being honest and making others love Dragon Ball for what it is, hundreds of millions of people did this around the world, by the way, when it was first released. They instead want to only talk to the worst parts of the community because it's the easiest way to get attention. The hard way is to show the feats and get the real translations. There are people out there who have never watched Dragon Ball GT and have no idea Super Saiyan 4 Goku couldn't lift a small street corner. There are other people who never watched Dragon Ball Z and have no idea that an elephant that weighs around 10,000 pounds crushed Super Saiyan 1 Goku's hand. They are a joke, and you should all treat them like a joke, because they cannot and won't ever talk to adults about any of this, and won't go to anime cons or tag pro Dragon Ball Z educators on YouTube or TikTok that really know the lore extremely well. They're too scared to do that, so they stick to the worst communities possible and support scammers overseas, who the FBI and feds are likely watching right now and investigating right now due to international wire fraud via asking for donations due to being extremely poor and having no money to pay for the internet costs, only to learn that they have a TikTok channel dedicated to playing mobile games on the same phone for hours every day, then live streaming, then editing videos, then going to Discord and YouTube chats to talk to people for the rest of the day, and also use the same phone to study for college half that day, all on a single charge. I don't know about you guys, but I think we've solved the world energy crisis. Someone needs to go study that guy's phone, because the battery seems to be able to power the entire multiverse indefinitely without ever running out of power.